My ag teacher told me to keep a loose lip on the harmonica just a couple of years ago, back in the early 60s. And so the kids started calling me Looselip. This is Wildwood Flower. My friend Anonymous wrote a poem called Murphy McCloud. It was late afternoon in a cowtown saloon, at the end of a big rodeo, and boys in the chutes and their Levi's and boots had wandered in to hash over the show. Drinks were poured out with a roar and a shout. Whenever somebody hollered, "You bet!" And this kid by the door, he lay down on the floor and he wondered how rank can you get. When out of the gloom and into the room walked a maiden with pain in her eyes, and the talk was all stilled. Them cowboys was chilled, so intense was their painful surprise. But they all knew this lass and what had come to pass when she married a wild buckaroo. And marriage was brief, filled with grief, only lasted an hour or two. Yeah, the room was like death. Each man held his breath. Not a word could anyone say. Till she finally spoke through the cigarette smoke, and her words went sort of this way. Ain't no need to fear, but I want you to hear why my marriage ended up as a flop. There's two men to blame, and I'm willing to name none other than Murph and McCloud. This gold wedding band that I wear on my hand was a gift from the man I adore, who so solemnly said on the day we was wed that he'd ride bucking horses no more. He said the rodeo life has no room for a wife, so I'll give up my riding for you. Yeah, he said go to hell with a life he loved well. I wound up by saying I do. We drove through the night in the moon silver light. He was mine and my joyous heart sang. As he said he was through as a wild buckaroo, he was quitting that rodeo game. And we stopped suddenly short in a small auto court to enjoy our first evening alone. And I hastily dressed in the things I'd saved best, the finest silk satins I owned. We were sweetly tucked in when a horrible din brought our romancing straight to a stop. And whom should appear with a giggle and leer? None other than Murph McCloud. "We just happened by when your car caught my eye," said Murph with a devil-like smile. "And since you're our friend, we feared we'd offend if you didn't drop in for a while." And he took off his hat, stretched out on his back, said I worried it was booze and I might take a snooze if you'd offer me space in your sack. And up spoke McCloud as he pulled off the top of a bottle of Mexican brew, and he started to cry while saying goodbye to the best bronco rider he knew. He said, "Farewell, old friend. I guess this here's the end of a trio beyond all compare. 'Cause there's a big rodeo up in North Idaho, and we got to get headed up there." And my lover jumped up and replenished his cup with a shot and a couple of beers. And them boys gave accounts of them jug-headed mounts they'd drawn the last 7 years. And my groom turned to me with a soul-searching plea as my heart took a murmuring drop. He said, "I'll return to your side after one final ride, but I'm a-leaving with Murphy McCloud. Oh, lift up your beer, your whiskey to cheer, maybe your custard or slop. Here's a toast to the source of my brand new divorce, none other than Murphy McClock. And the lone evening star shone down in the bar of that rodeo town in Red West. And the air in the place was all filled with disgrace. And cowboys was shortly depressed. Murph, he left his seat sort of dragging his feet. He was vacating the place. McClock followed behind with a soul-searching mind and a downtrodden look on his face. Then it came from the groom. As he looked around the room, that little-eyed comment, "You bet!" A kid by the door, he remained on the floor. Says, "So that's how rank you can get." Thank you. I remember Sweet Betsy can fight. This is a short one. What happened to her after she left her lover Ike. Even Paul Harvey don't know the rest of the story. In a pioneer's cabin out way in the west, this grizzly bear wandered in one day. He started looking around and, "Oh Lord, I'm too egotistical, I thought I could remember that. I want to thank you very much. It'll come to me someday. Bye-bye."